There comes a point in every man's life where he must decide whether he will live by the standards he set for himself or allow circumstances to lower them. The end of the year exposes your real discipline, because this is the season where most men let their standards collapse. They tell themselves they'll fix everything in January. They tell themselves the last days don't matter. They treat the finish line like a place to relax, instead of the place where champions push even harder. Your standard determines your life, and right now the world is testing if you're strong enough to hold it. Holding your standard means refusing to negotiate with your excuses. You know exactly how easy it is to justify skipping workouts, breaking routines, sleeping in, or abandoning structure. But the man you want to become cannot survive with a mindset that crumbles every time life gets inconvenient. Your standard must be stronger than your feelings. Your commitment must overpower your comfort. Your identity must override your impulses. When you live by a standard, your life rises to meet it. Most men never reach their potential because they underestimate how much low standards sabotage their future. A small compromise becomes a pattern becomes an identity, and once weakness becomes identity, it becomes incredibly difficult to break. But if you hold your standard now when it is hardest, you send a message to your mind that your goals matter more than your excuses. You reinforce that discipline is your default, not something you do occasionally. This is how confidence forms, not through results, but through integrity. Your environment will try to pull you away from your standards during this season. People will invite you into comfort. Routines will get disrupted, distractions multiply. But you must hold your standard regardless. A man's discipline is defined not when life is easy, but when life becomes loud. If you can hold your standard in the chaos, you are unstoppable in the calm. Standards are your anchor, and without them you drift into the life you swore you'd never return to. Holding your standard requires clarity. You cannot protect what you haven't defined. Write down your standards, your wake-up time, your training routine, your daily goals, your non-negotiable habits. Define what discipline actually looks like for you. When standards are clear, excuses become obvious. When standards are vague, excuses become disguised as logic. The clearer your standard, the stronger your discipline. Pressure will test your standard. Fatigue will test your standard. Stress will test your standard. But this is exactly why standards exist. They remove decision-making from the equation. When you have standards, you don't ask yourself if you should show up, you simply do. You don't negotiate with laziness, you override it. You don't bend your routine, you protect it. Standards turn discipline into instinct. As 2025 closes, the world expects you to slow down. That is exactly why this is the time to speed up. The end of the year separates the men who live with intention from the men who live with excuses. If you hold your standard now, you won't need New Year's resolutions, you'll already be living the habits people wait months to start. This is how winners create distance. This is how warriors build identity. This is how champions lead themselves into a new year. Hold your standard today. Hold it when it's inconvenient. Hold it into 2026. This is No Excuses Network.